everyone, Happy New Year! I hope you had a lovely time. Just a quick note, this video was recorded back in November. I hope to see you soon here to share more interesting stuff. Enjoy it! Hi everyone, welcome to another week's video. Today I have something very exciting to share with you. I obviously don't need to buy any more watercolors, but Jackson's managed to entice me with a Black Friday watercolor sale, and I decided to wait. I just opened to check if everything was in order, but I decided to wait and share here with you this mini art haul I got from Jackson's this month. So I hope you enjoy, and if you are new here, welcome. My name is Carol. I love sharing watercolor and art related stuff here on the channel. If you like this video, please remember, give me the thumbs up and subscribe if you haven't already done so, because it really helps the channel. So I have a few things here. It's not a huge art haul, but you will see that already something very exciting is here. Is the Schmincke Retro pen set with the retro design. This is a very cute set, and I have seen this all over YouTube here. Many artists that I follow got this set and reviewed it, and I was really enticed, but I thought it was a bit pricey, and I managed to keep myself out of buying. But now with the Black Friday sale on Jackson's, the price was reduced at a point that I felt it had a reasonable price, so I got this. And yeah, I'm very excited to share this and to swatch these colors. I also got this Higgins waterproof red ink. It's India ink. I've been thinking of drawing with red ink for a while, of trying some different things, and I found this on Jackson, so I'm curious to see also how it works and if it's really waterproof. And then I have a few more watercolors here, not many. So I have this Lucas Naples Yellow Reddish. I already have a half pen of this color, and I liked it so much that I wanted to buy the tube to refill it. And then I have 3 a.gallo colors that I don't own, and I'm very excited to try these also. I have green umber, and then another green. This is verdaccio, and finally the zirconium blue. So that's it. That was my mini haul from Jackson's. I'm gonna take some time off screen to unwrap these, and then I'll be back. So I'm back. I unwrapped my a.gallo. I also did a little swatch sheet here with the names of the paints. I just waited to open this little jewel box here with you, so you can share with my thoughts, my first reaction thoughts, because it's the first time I'll be opening this. And already from the box I noticed it's a very small. Oh, that's so cute. Look at this. It's really tiny, which is great for trips where you don't have a lot of space or weight limitations. It's a great box, very nice, with the logo over here. This lettering, really nice. Now it's really tight. I don't know if I'm doing something wrong. Okay, I managed to finally open. It was quite tight, but here you have it. You have the card. That's a nice touch. And then here you have, I think it's a swatch, yeah, it's a swatch sheet. And it has some empty spaces also. And here you have the colors. So the colors in this set are the chromium yellow hue lemon, I think it is, vermilion, ultramarine finest viridian, yellow raw ochre, raw umber, English Venetian red, and Payne's gray, Schmincke's Payne's gray. So now I'm gonna unwrap these so we can swatch these beauties over here. And I can already say I love this palette. It's so nice to have in the hand. I'm really happy with it. So we'll be back soon to swatch all of those beauties here. So I'm back. I unwrapped all of the pens. I also had to name them because I didn't have any markings on them in regards to pigment or color number. And I just wanted to share with you also something particular about this pen set, is the way that the pens sit inside. So they go like this, horizontally. At first I thought they would go well vertically, which they kind of fit, but then you have these little metal pieces over here that you put at the bottom, and they snap and they keep the colors into place. Something I was just a bit disappointed is that I had hopes that I could use this middle row over here to put some more colors, but when I tried, they were really tight. So I don't know, I may have to fiddle a bit with that and see what I can do, because from already seeing the selection of colors, I feel that these two here are a bit repetitive. This is the yellow raw ochre and this is the raw umber. This is PY42 and for PY43, and this is PY43, I believe. So a bit repetitive in my point of view, but we'll see when we swatch. Maybe they're different. We'll see. So I'm gonna start swatching these colors. I'm gonna zoom in a little bit so you can see better. So we'll start with the chromium yellow hue, lemon, well, this is very vibrant color. It's almost fluorescent. It will be good for mixing, which I also want to do to see the colors that we can get with the set. Now we have vermilion, which is PR255. It's a beautiful warm red, which I like. You won't get any like pure purples with this, but you certainly get some toned down muted ones. Which can be also useful for shadows, and it can work in a palette like this. I think that you will get a lot of muted mixes. Now we have ultramarine finest, PB29. This will give some nice greens with the yellow lemon and also with the raw ochre. I'm using again the Daler-Rohner mixed media paper, so it may not show the granulation of paints as well as a cold press paper, but the ultramarine finest anyway is a mold a bit more finely, like the name says, so it won't granulate as much as the regular ultramarine. And now we have Viridian, that is another granulating paint. And this is a good one to buy in half pan, because I've read it hardens pretty badly if you pour it from the tube. So it's one of those paints that you either use it fresh from the tube, or if you want the convenience, just buy it half pan. And it's a beautiful color for mixes. It has granulation. You can get some nice grays mixing with some cooler reds. I'm not sure about this red, but we'll try and see what we get. So now we get to the earth tones, and you have the English red first, PR 101. This is a very rich color, opaque. Like terracotta type of color. You can get some interesting oranges with this as well. I think I diluted my red a bit too much over here. I'm gonna do a second layer of paint. I was just looking at it and I felt it was a bit too pale. Now we have the raw yellow ochre. Yeah, yellow raw ochre. And it's a transparent color, an earth tone, which will be useful also for greens. You can mix it with the Viridian or the ultramarine. You can even mix it with the Payne's gray and you'll get some sort of green. I'll probably be doing a color chart to see all the possibilities. And actually this is something I really love to do. When I get a new paint set, I love doing color charts and getting surprised with all the possibilities of the colors. Now we have the raw umber, which is a strange pigment choice for a raw umber, because I was expecting PBR 7 for umber, and indeed it's very, very similar to the raw ochre. It's just slightly brownier. I guess I would have preferred maybe a burnt umber to have a bit more variety. Yeah, so you can see they're closely related. Diluting this color, you'll probably get something close to this one. And now, last but not least, we have Payne's gray. So this is a 3-color pigment. You have PR 101, which is the same pigment as the English red, PB 29, and PBK 7. Which I don't remember now which black it is. It's a very warm Payne's gray. and it looks like it has a bit of texture. Maybe wrong. I'll try to dilute it a bit more and see how it dries. Yeah. So while these ones are drying, or maybe I'll try to get some mixing now here and see what I can get with these colors. Let's see. So I'll try and mix the yellow lemon, the chromium yellow lemon hue, I think it's PY 175. Let's try and mix it with the ultramarine first. See what type of green we can get. Very lively green. Now I want to try and mix the same permanent yellow lemon hue with the Viridian. I believe Viridian is a low tinting strength, so I'm curious to see what will come out of this mix. This is a more vibrant green, as both colors are cooler, both the green and the yellow. You get a very kind of acid type of green, but with lots of texture actually. Also get some texture here from the ultramarine blue. Now I'll try one last mix with the yellow lemon and Payne's gray. Just a tiny bit. This should give a more natural looking green, one type of olive green. It's a nice tone actually. I'm saying actually a lot of times, I apologize for that. So yeah, 3 very different types of greens. Let's try one last green. I will try the yellow raw ochre. This looks like it has low tinting strength also. And let's try with the ultramarine finest. Maybe I added too much ultramarine. I don't think I'll get a green out of this. It looks, or maybe. Let's try adding a little bit more of the raw yellow ochre. I don't even know how to call this color. It looks like a just dirty type of ochre. It's a natural looking color anyway. Try to add a tiny little bit of blue here and see. Yeah, it's one of those dirty, muddy colors that can be useful also for nature. So type of a brownish, grayish, green color. And now let's see what oranges we can get with the yellow again. And the vermilion. I'm gonna put only a tiny bit of vermilion because this is gonna be powerful, I think. This obviously gives you a very vibrant type of orange, because the vermilion is a warm red and then the yellow is very vibrant. Now I want to try, there are some nice textures developing over here, and I want to try the same yellow but now with the English red, and this will give a more muted type of orange. Have to be careful though, because the English red is very rich, so need to take very tiny bit to start with. Here we go. I went a bit too deep on the English red. May need to add more yellow. It's a very beautiful mix. This type of golden yellow, and you can, I'll try to add a little bit more of English red, see if I can push more towards orange. Yeah, it's kind of a quinacridone gold type of color, which I really like. More natural, a bit more muted than this orange over here. Now I want to try some purple. I will try a purple using the vermilion with the blue ultramarine and see what we get. For sure it will be a very toned down purple. Kind of like a pyroline violet type of purple. I don't know about you guys, but I really love mixing colors. I have like a small stitched sketchbook I created for myself, where sometimes I just take some of my colors and I mix different types of greens and different types of oranges and purples just to relax. I find it a very relaxing exercise. It's a very nice muted purple, this. And last, I think I'm gonna try to mix the Viridian and the red and see if I can get a gray. I'll start with the Viridian. That is the lightest color. And then I'll add the red and see what it gives. The vermilion, actually. Let's see. You can get also a very natural, more natural green by adding red to your Viridian. It makes it warmer and it brings the vibrancy down. But the Viridian is quite weak in comparison, so I'm losing a bit of the green. Try to mix a bit more of the red. Have to be very careful because some colors are overpowering. Yeah, I think I'm not getting any gray from this color, only this muted green. With the cooler reds, it gives beautiful gray tones, but I think this this red is too warm for that. So yeah, I got another type of grayish green over here. Now I'm gonna put this aside and let's try the a.gallo colors, the new a.gallo colors. I will start with the green number. This is a color I never really pay much attention to until I decided to try Rembrandt's version after reading about it in Kim Crick's website, and she said they had a beautiful texture, and I decided to try and I fell in love with it. I added it to my spring palette. I have a series of videos here while I'm swatching and trying to choose colors to go on my spring palette, and this was one of them. And then after this I started getting curious about other versions of green number, but still I think Rembrandt remains my favorite. This is a very nice color. It looks like it has some granulation as well. This is PBR 8. I apologize if the lighting changes. It's been a rainy day here and I have clouds coming and rain on and off. Now we have Verdaccio, which is a two-color mix of PBR 7 and PBK 11. Oh, and this looks like a very beautiful rich green. I mean, rich in the sense of opaque. It's muted green. It's very creamy color. I love this type of olive greens, brownish greens. Very useful for painting. This is really beautiful. I guess every time I see green umber, I'm expecting something like this, because I don't see green in this. I just see like a cool brown. but both colors will be useful. And now we have zirconium blue, which is PB71. And I think this color I only have from another brand that is a Kramer. I was intrigued by the pigment, but my experience with Kramer zirconium blue was not great. It has so much pigment that every time I paint with it, it dries and then it rubs off after dry like pastel. I contacted them about it and they recommend me to try different kinds of paper, which I did, and for some of their colors it worked, but not the zirconium blue, so I basically stopped using it. I think there's just too much pigment and not enough binder to keep the color on the paper. But this one is very beautiful, and I like more the tone of this one actually. The Kramer one is a bit more muted, I think. And now we are only missing this big boy over here. I'm going to put a tiny little dot here. It's a very nice tone of Naples yellow reddish. And here you have it. And this is PR 176 and PBR 24, which is usually the single pigment Naples yellow. Now I'm gonna leave this to dry. I'm gonna name all the mixes I did here, and then I'll share the close-up soon. I'm back. So I have the swatches almost all dry. This one is still a bit wet, but I think it's good enough that I can show you the colors a bit more closely. So here you have the Schmincke Retro set and the mixes I did. I have to say I really like this crazy mix I did here with vermilion and viridian. It gives this very nice granulation effect of the viridian coming through. It reminds me a bit of patina on copper or bronze. It's really interesting effect. We can also see the granulation of the ultramarine finest with the red in this purple. Really love this orange I created with the Venetian, the English Venetian red and the yellow. Can create some interesting greens also with the ultramarine because of the granulation. You can see a little bit of this here. I'm sure if I added a bit more, it would be a bit more natural green. And yeah, even this color, this strange mix I did here, this type of very muted brown green can be useful. This is raw yellow ochre and ultramarine. Then I have my a.gallo over here. You have the verdaccio, the green umber. The verdaccio became less green as it dried, which is interesting. I think when I put it on paper it looked greener than now, but I still like the color. The zirconium blue looks really nice for skies, and of course the Naples yellow reddish, which I already had tried and loved it. So I'm really happy with this mini haul. It just so happens that I had finished and shared all of my conclusions of the swatches, and then I realized afterwards that I forgot to swatch this waterproof red ink from Higgins. So I'm recording this on the following day as daylight is at a premium now here, and let's see how this ink performs. It has a nice dropper. It's a nice tone of red. Also some inks they are listed as red, but when you swatch them they are actually more on the pinkish side. It's not the case for this one. Now I'm gonna try a bit of writing with this pen glass here. Let's see. Or glass pen rather. I really like the red color. I think it will look nice on line work. So I'll let this dry and then I'll be back with some water to test the water resistance. So I'm back. It's been maybe 10 minutes, even less, and it looks pretty much dry. Just a little piece here where I had more concentrated ink. It looks still a bit not completely dry, but the rest seems okay. So you can see I got carried away and I went doing these little stars up to the top. This was all I had in my glass dip pen. I dropped one little drop and I was able to do all of these lines, so you can draw for a long time with it. You don't need to be constantly dipping in the bottle. Let's see now how waterproof this is. That's the moment of truth. I'm gonna start with the ones at the top that are a bit lighter. These are the last ones I drew in, so I think the other one should be okay. But yeah, so far so good. Let's see here where there's a bit more concentration. Doesn't seem to have any, maybe some very, very slight. Yeah, maybe here I see the slightest different tone on the paper, but it's hard to judge if it's the water. It's just the paper being wet, or if it's the ink that hasn't dried completely. Maybe ever so slightly, so it may be no harm to let it dry for a bit longer than I did. I would say maybe half an hour or 1 hour before painting, but otherwise it looks pretty good to me. I have no issue with that. And I will take the chance also to share another neat little thing I found out. So as I mentioned, I wanted to, and this palette it's a bit challenging to open, I tell you. Okay, so I wanted to find a way to use this space here, and I couldn't using half pens. They just don't fit here, but quarter pens do fit here. So if you do have this on hand, or you can get them easily, these fit nicely here. They're, at the moment they are loose. I haven't put any magnet or anything, but even so they are pretty stuck in here, so they just move side to side, and that would give you a opportunity to put another 4 colors in this little pen. So yeah, I'm very happy with that, and now I'll go back to the end of the video as intended. I hope you enjoyed this also, and let me know in the comments if you want any of these paints, if you want this set, if you would like to purchase it. I really like this little box. I may fiddle a bit and change maybe one of these 2 earth colors here for another blue or another red to make the set a bit more versatile, but we'll see. I will let you know if I come up with anything interesting. Have a lovely week, and I'll see you soon. Bye!